All right, guys. I did run the version after the uninstallation earlier, so I didn't show you, but that's the one after RPM uninstallation. So now let's go to binary. The second method of installing RPM, sorry, Docker in command line mode and in offline mode. So this is the second method of installing it. So the Docker over here is a tar.gz file. So it's a tar.gz, which is it's called tar.gz. So tar-fn is at xvf, and then the Docker 24 file. Yeah, there you go. So this should get me the Docker folder uninstalled and unwrapped. So now you see the Docker folder over here. So this basically has all the items which is required for me to run a Docker container. In I would say in a specific folder format. Okay, so now these are files. You can see that these are basically files which is kept over here, and I'm trying to enter into a file, so that's weird. So this is the Docker D service, which basically needs to run. This is the Docker daemon, and this is the Docker command which we will be executing. So these two files should be inside this thing, your bin folder. But you can alternatively do something like this. So what I will be doing first of all is move this Docker. Let's also extract the root list as well. Is it XBF? No, Z is for unzipping the GZ. X is for unzipping the tar. So there is a two-level compression here we're talking about. Tar is another one compression which happens to folders. GZ is a compression which happens to files. So we compress a folder using tar, and then it becomes a file, and then we compress the file using GZ. So that's how it is. And VF is verbose and force. So here I'm giving this file name and extracting it. So this basically is your rootless setup. Okay, so if you're going to have a rootless setup, like you want to run it with a normal user, without the root user, you can use this one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this Docker folder to OPT folder, which I don't have permission. So I just have to execute with sudo then. So I have to give Docker. Yeah, I'll have to give the same chown. So I'm doing control R. If I do control R, then I go on the history. I can search history, and then when I do control R, I search for chown, and then I get the previously executed command coming in. And it's another lazy method of doing stuff. So here I am changing the permission for online for all the folders inside this one. So now I should see online there. So now I have the whole folder executing, but then the problem is like when I type Docker version, it won't be executing because it doesn't know the command. So basically it says that it doesn't exist. So, but it does exist over here. So if I type Docker version here, it should work. So you can see that it's working here, but not globally. There are two options for you. You can copy these commands into the user bin, and that will enable you to execute this command, or else you can set a path. Set a path is much easier and familiar for me. So set path equal to $path, which means the existing path will be imported here. And then I will be also importing this folder as well as part of the path. So so this is how we set path, but then you need to do it every single time. That's a pain and pain. That's a pain. So you can also enter this path into via etc bash 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 underscore profile or bash rc file, or you can put it on etc. I'm so sorry. So if you put it on bash rc file on your profile, so only it applies for your profile. So if you can also do a sudo vi etc bash bash.c file. So here in this file also you can make entry of this. So what this will remember, even after a server restarts, it will still remember this path exported and it will keep that up. Okay, so now what happens now after exporting this path is, like previously we ran this, it worked, and when we ran without dot slash, it's not working, right? Because when you say dot slash, it is executing the file from this location. But now you don't have a dot slash, but still it will work. Why? Because I've exported the path over there. So path basically has all the executable files across the operating system. Now I have that exported over there, so I don't really have to do that. But then it goes off when I log off from the session. So that's I've given you two options for you to present it even after a reboot. Now, if you're doing in this kind of installation, this is the method. To uninstall this is very simple. Let's see on the next video.